And we're live here on YouTube. I'd like to welcome those listening in podcast land, I guess, and also my buddy Rich. Rich, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good, Mike. So, probably going to be transitioning to partial weeks.
Yep.
The rest of the month. So, with vacation time, I got to use up. Before the end of February. So, it's going to be some nice half days or all day is off on Fridays. So, it'll be nice to have 3-day weekends or 3.5 or 2.5-day weekends.
Yeah.
So, like, had the first one this weekend where the missus dropped me off at work, came back and got me. We had a nice lunch date and a Costco run in the afternoon. So yeah, lunch was not at Costco, just for context though.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good hot dog. Like we
No,
when we go, like if we're busy at work. If I'm busy, like if we're busy when we go to Sioux Falls for a game or for a Sam's Club run, we'll do hot dogs and pizza regularly.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it is. The price is good in the Costco food court too, and the $1.50 for a hot dog and a drink, you can't beat that. But we went to Chili's because we had a gift card to. We had a gift card to use, so being able to have a lunch at Chili's and come out of only owing $5 with a tip is a pretty good deal. Since we didn't since the gift card was a gift.
Yeah.
So Mike, how was your week?
It was rough. Little boy's a little sick, and so we're dealing with that. Trying to get him better, and then he got better, and then little girl got sick, and yeah, life of a family.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then my wife and I are feeling all right, but a little congestion, but nothing crazy.
Gotcha. You start using those humidifiers and. Make sure to take some vitamin C supplements to hopefully keep your immune systems up so
Yep.
The kids' colds don't become your colds.
Yep. So we're doing good though. Just dealing with that, and then working, and I only worked 2 days this week, which I feel terrible about. I hate when I have that happen, but when you have a sick kid, you got a sick kid. You can't do much about it. But big. They're gonna get better, and we'll be fine. So, big show this week. We got. It might be quick, but we got opening ceremonies to talk about, along with. We might jump on a carousel. We might not. Hopefully by the end of next week we'll be able to. But Rich, what else we got?
Well, we got to talk about the conference championship games. We had what amounted to a game in a snow globe. We're in the game in Denver, and talking about some issues with the Pro Bowl, and we have racing to talk about still as.
We have a couple things in racing, yeah.
Yeah, pending the weather, there might be a NASCAR race, the Exhibition Busch Clash. All that and more, Mike, but what do we got to do first?
We got to go ahead and roll the intro.
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa, this is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.
And we're back. Before we do any of that, Rich, we got a poll question this week to talk about. You're going to have to call in one of your peoples.
Do we have a tie?
We have a tie. Or does this not matter because it's not anything that's future and all that stuff?
Yeah, let's just keep it as a tie. It's not a bracket style. It's a one-off. It's a bridge poll. It's a bridge poll while we're still trying to build out our our long-term poll series. So let's just go with the tie.
So with the tie, we had 8 votes. Rich, the poll question was, are you going to watch the moon launch, which is a week from today, theoretically.
Okay.
So this is Artemis 2 getting ready to launch to do a lap around the moon before we go back to the moon, which is exciting.
So is it a scouting mission, like to see, all right, where can we touch down at?
It's testing new products for the first time is really what it is. Because we've, like, everything that we're sending this time hasn't gone ever. So they want to make sure everything's ready to go. 4 votes for yes, 4 votes for no. Me, Solomon Stroop, Cameron Tripp, and Ryan Cunningham all voted yes on this poll question, that they're excited for the moon launch. No, Sue Hart, Heather Marie, Austin Trepek, and you, Mr. Rich.
Yeah, I think I mostly voted no, because I didn't even know this was happening. So how can I be excited for something I didn't even know was happening?
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I'll make an effort to find a way to watch the thing.
Yeah.
Or do a recap, or to watch, or just to watch it after the fact.
Yeah. So Artemis.
Either.
So Solomon Stroop forgot about what it was. He said, "What is the moon launch?" And I said, "Artemis 2." Oh yeah, I remember this is happening, and he voted yes.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I think it's awesome that we're going back to the moon. I think there's a lot of merit to it. I'm excited. I really want to watch. I'm really hoping to get more moon landings and stuff like that happening here soon. And it's good for, I mean, it's good. It's a good thing. So
will this be SpaceX doing this, or is NASA and the U.S. government fully funding this?
So it is, it's a joint venture, obviously, but it's mostly NASA's work. It's mostly NASA doing the thing. It's led by NASA.
Good.
They are going to be on an Orion spacecraft. And I don't remember who does Orions. But, yeah. Yeah. So.
Gotcha. All right. So thank you for everybody that voted on the poll, and for Solomon for asking questions. That's how you get a shout out.
Yeah.
So also, I mean, if you hit the share button on our poll question, put down in the comments, hey, I shared this. We'll give you a shout out for that too.
Yep.
So you can find our poll questions on Fans of Balls and Sticks over on Facebook. And usually Mike and I see it on Facebook. We're not on Facebook as much as we used to be, but we try and share it once we know it on the go live date. This week's poll question will be another one-off bridge type poll, as we're still developing a more longer term poll, which will be grade school activities. We're still kind of brain shopping and working that one. So this week's poll question are you going to watch the opening ceremony of the Olympics, with the Olympics starting in next week, almost, in 2 weeks? So
No, they start next week.
Next week.
Opening ceremonies is the 6th.
Okay.
So.
They're going to coincide it with the Super Bowl?
It's a global thing. Nobody cares globally around about the other stuff.
Yeah, because the Super Bowl is the 8th. So yeah, I guess you could have a. Okay, cool. I did not realize. I thought the Olympics and the Super Bowl were not overlapping. But cool. All right, Mike. Speaking of the Super Bowl, we know who.
By the way, that's going to go live today at 11.
Live at 11. Thank you, Mike. All right. Speaking of the Super Bowl, we know who's going to be playing in that game, Mike. Let's start with the NFC side, as we don't have as much of a topic to talk around the Rams-Seahawks game, as it was the Seahawks winning 31-27 over the Rams. Good game, back and forth. Both teams, I thought, were evenly matched, and yeah, liked the game. And I guess an interesting tidbit that I found out while doing some reading in my Apple News was that supposedly there is a trend that every time a new pope is elected, the Seahawks have made the Super Bowl.
Wow. Wow, that's impressive.
And
So
the other one, Mike, yeah.
They just want the Pope to die every year then? Is that not to be too
Yeah, well,
morbid?
it didn't say what they did in the year when the one pope just stepped down. So I'm not sure if that was an election year or no, but they still elected a new pope when the one between Francis and I don't remember the name, but yeah, where the one pope stepped down.
Benedict and Francis?
Yeah, they still elected a new pope, didn't they?
I think so, yeah. They have to, so yes.
Okay. And I guess the other interesting maybe tidbit to come out of this, probably won't have as much talk as about the snow globe game in Denver, was that would you have thought with that vaulted 18 quarterback class that Sam Darnold would be the first one of that draft class of quarterbacks to make it to the Super Bowl, with his draft class also including Baker Mayfield, Josh Rosen, who was a bust, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, no. The answer is no. And even more, the question on it is, do you would you have guessed, what was that, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, because it's 2018.
Yeah.
Would you have guessed 8 years ago? Not only would it be he would be the first, but he would be the first, and also that it would be like his 6th team.
Because he was drafted by the Jets, went to Carolina for a little while, was a backup in San Francisco, was the bridge quarterback in Minnesota, 5th team in Minnesota, and now Seattle. Yeah, his 5th team as well.
5.
So he had to kind of take some rehab years to kind of get coached up and return back to prominence with
after getting destroyed for the Jets.
Yeah, and not being in a good situation in Carolina as well. But no, I think out of that, looking at that class, you would have thought that the guys that have won multiple MVPs and have taken their teams on deep playoff runs, like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, would have been the guys that would have gotten their team to the Super Bowl before Sam Darnold.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I think, honestly, you're right. I think, for me, obviously the two that are the most ridiculous are Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Like, those two guys still haven't been in the Super Bowl.
They've come close a lot more times, but they still have never been to a Super Bowl.
Baker Mayfield, by the way, legitimately, do you think Baker could have done it if the Browns
had gotten out of Cleveland sooner,
or if the Browns hadn't screwed up so bad with how they ended up doing it?
I don't think they would have, because even if yes, but while Deshaun Watson has been a disaster in Cleveland, Joe Flacco, an old Joe Flacco, was able to at least get them to the playoffs. But he's got a better supporting cast and a better offensive cast
Yeah.
in Tampa than he ever had or would have had in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And obviously Tampa Bay plays in a division that's a lot more winnable than in a division that you're sharing with the Steelers and the Ravens and the Bengals, for that matter.
Quarterback you forgot in that draft class.
Mm-hmm.
Mike White.
I was only considering the first round quarterbacks.
Drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. First round. Okay. I'll go back up to the first round. Lamar was the last pick in the first round. How crazy is that?
Yeah, the Baltimore traded up to get him.
Yeah. When was Rosen? Oh, Josh Rosen was 10th. And look at him now. He's retired. Oh, no, he's retired.
He's nowhere to be found. He had a 1 year really crappy year in Arizona. That's when they dumped him and they drafted Kyler Murray first the very next year.
Do you think that, again, another guy who gets screwed and then because of that ended up in Miami? What year did Tua get drafted?
I think that might have been the same year where
So 2020 was the year. So Josh Rosen, 2018 gets drafted, plays for Arizona for 1 year. They draft a quarterback, kick him off. He then goes to Miami, plays for 1 year, and then Tua Tagovailoa gets drafted. Then he goes to Tampa, only makes the practice squad because
was that the Jameis Winston year?
No. I believe, let me bring this up. Yeah. Goes to Tampa in 2020, the year that Tom Brady comes to town.
Oh, okay.
21 goes to Atlanta. Plays 1 year in Atlanta, and then nope. Oh, that's the draft. I don't want the draft. I want.
But yeah, it's crazy how you have so much turnover with one guy being such a bust. And I think I remember you talking about that draft class. It was like Josh Rosen's the guy I'd want. Being a proven guy. That's a good pick that was a good pick, I thought, for Atlanta for Arizona at the time at number 10. So I think I remember saying that I liked that pick for them. And then
oh, I'm sorry, he did make the Niners for 2020. He did make their team 21. So 22. I feel like 22 would have been okay.
Okay. Final thought on the Josh Rosen, Mike.
No, I thought I was a year off. I thought Rosen got bumped off for Kirk Cousins in 22, but it was not.
In Atlanta.
Okay. That is not the case. But how about that? How about maybe you just hire Josh Rosen, like if you're a team, hire Josh Rosen for a year, and then the next year. So 2018 gets bumped off for Kyler Murray, and verdict's still out. 2019, so in 2020 he gets bumped off for Tua Tagovailoa. 2020 he gets hired and then gets released in the offseason because they bring in Tom Brady on Tampa Bay. And then 2020 he also is in San Francisco, and isn't that the first year that
I think that might have been the Jimmy G, Brock Purdy, Trey Lance year too. But I mean, could this guy have benefited from what we're seeing happen with a coach from the Shanahan or McVay coaching tree rehabbing a quarterback and rebuilding them? Because you've seen that with Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, a little bit with Kirk Cousins, with them elevating them, elevating their level of play and getting them to cash out and getting them a bigger long-term deal. And now we saw it with Mac Jones this year in San Fran.
Yeah. By the way, 22, he was in the Vikings and got released, and that's the year they got JJ. So you just hire Josh Rosen, and then you'll find your quarterback, is what it seems like to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, because how many of those, like the guys like Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and now kind of Kevin O'Connell being a guy that has just worked with them as a backup quarterback. They get injured, they get rehabbed through practicing, from being in the building and being in their quarterback rooms, and then they get some limited game action, and they get their long-term deal. So yeah.
Okay.
And then tell us about that Patriots-Broncos game.
Man, that game started out beautiful weather. It was gorgeous. The winds were a little rough, but outside of that, it looked great. They were playing well. The Broncos took an early lead. Everybody was thinking, man, they're the team. They're going to win it. Their defense is going to hold them in it. They go and they go for a touchdown, fourth and goal on the 2, I think is what it was. They miss it. And after that, the Patriots get 10 points. Nobody scores after those 10 points. The game turned in like you could watch. It was bright and sunny at the start of the game. By the third quarter, it was starting to snow. By the fourth quarter, it was getting hard to see on TV because the snow was so heavy at times. 4 missed field goals. 10-7. Fun game to watch, I thought, but I also was bummed. Like, if the Broncos go for that touchdown or go for that field goal, now they're up 10-0. Does that change the play of the rest of the game?
I think it does, because you could be content with trying to, all right, let's just run the football and play the time clock game of not having to be down when the weather got really bad and you couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And even down 3 points, you kind of had that attitude, all right, we're not going to be passing the game. We're not going to be passing the ball in these conditions.
And they weren't anyway, because they didn't have a quarterback that could pass it.
No, they didn't. Stidham, I think, chucked a couple of deep balls, one of which got intercepted. So that's a reason why Jarrett Stidham has been a career backup quarterback.
So with that, you do have a great point on here.
Yeah.
You want to share
more teams? Yeah, with more teams putting domes on their new stadiums, there's going to be less games like this.
Yeah.
I mean, football-wise, this was terrible. It was not the best football, as you just think neither team could figure out how to get the weather. It's like with the Patriots, all right, let's just play defense because obviously if we're not running this ball, if we're not able to move the ball and get anything, the Broncos aren't either. So it was just bleeding down that clock.
Yeah.
How many overtimes could this have gone to before another team got close enough to field goal range that you could try to do a field goal to win the game?
Well, I mean, they tried 4 field goals and missed.
Yeah. Or could this have turned into, all right, it's long, you're in a 3rd and long because your running game is only getting 1 or 2 yards because of the field conditions, and it comes down to a pick six, a defensive play, putting you into a closer field goal or in a red zone, and that was the difference maker, and that was the difference making play that finally got you close enough to attempt a field goal, or those 2 to 3 yard runs incrementally finally got you into the end zone because the defense put you in good field position.
Yeah, it's, man.
But thinking about all these new stadiums that are on the horizon, or at least in the planning stages, if not have an opening date, the Titans and the Chiefs have already said that they're going to be in a dome.
Yep.
It's a translucent dome stadium, not retractable. The Bears don't have an opening date for their stadium or a stadium site yet, but it's already said that they're going to be in a translucent roof stadium. The Browns are building a translucent roof stadium, as are the Commanders.
Yeah.
And Denver is rumored to be building a dome stadium.
Yeah, so what do you do with that? It takes the elements out of it, which is a good thing. But, Rich, arguably our favorite sport is baseball, right?
Yep.
And we watched for years. In the 80s, baseball loved domes. They really did. If you look at the 80s, look at the green, the neon green AstroTurf of the Blue Jays, of Twins, of
Mariners had a dome stadium.
All of these guys that have these domes. Now, baseball, what they do now is they do these retractable roofs and they open it up. But a lot of the newer stadiums are, even with a retractable roof, is mostly open air.
No, I would even say, argue that even the teams that have the retractable roofs, they never open them. How often do you see Texas's dome playing? How often do you see the Rangers opening up their dome for their new stadium? The Diamondbacks never have their roof open. Miami never has their roof open. Even when
Milwaukee does.
Yeah, Milwaukee does. Milwaukee does tend to have a fairly consistent split between open and closed, as does Toronto.
Yeah.
But baseball grew away from the domes with teams wanting to be back outside and in the elements.
Yeah. And so I think this is if you look at baseball or you look at sports, now part of this is, especially Chicago, Kansas City a little bit, but more the Browns and the Broncos, they'll never get a Super Bowl in any of those 3 cities.
No, I
without
don't
a
think
dome.
they will either. Well, I think even with a dome, they're not going to necessarily be on a Super Bowl rotation. I mean, Minnesota and Detroit have dome stadiums. They've hosted the Super Bowl once.
Yeah, but they'll get. I'm not saying they're going to be on the rotation. Chicago will get a Super Bowl though when they finally open up their stadium. I think Kansas City will likely get a Super Bowl. Cleveland, I hope they don't get a Super Bowl.
And I think they would find a way to use DC at least once, or at least try it.
DC, they'll try. Even Denver, I think, will be one of those that they'll give a Super Bowl to.
It's just how many more after.
Right.
I think Nashville could be a good rotation city is too.
The way Nashville came out for the draft, I'm shocked Nashville doesn't get more hype for Super Bowls and stuff like that. But again, in the middle of winter, in February, that could be a cold game. Heck, San Francisco might be a chilly game. It's not going to be cold, but it'll be chilly.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. All of that to say, I'm going to say something that as a Bears fan is slightly blasphemous. I appreciate that the owners of the Green Bay Packers are the city mixed with fans, whatever, because it means that they will never, I don't want to say never, the likelihood that they will ever change Lambeau Field is so slim that we will always at least have one cold game on the Bears schedule / a regular thing that you will see will be that. I also, speaking of stadiums that have been built and are opening, next fall we see a stadium open that is, to me, the ideal situation. Have you seen? So what they did in Buffalo, from my understanding, is it's a dome over the seats, but the field itself is completely open.
Yeah, you're correct. That's kind of what that is exactly what they did.
And
they covered more of the seating bowl. They finished more of the seating bowl, but still kept it open air.
And the reason they do that is because they'll be able to get at least enough heat in the seating that people will still be comfortable going. Plus, they're expecting they won't have to have the shovel brigade out every Friday, Saturday in the late season with lake effect snow.
Yeah, I'd agree that's a good.
You still get the elements.
That's a good comparison.
You still get a lot of that good stuff that you're going to have. Like, you're still going to get a snow game, which I don't mind. Like, I understand it was a terrible game, but how many times has snow games been some of the more fun games to watch? Mm-hmm. So that's my argument against it. So
yeah.
Okay.
I did like your point about it with could they see a resurgence like baseball did with all these dome stadiums as new technologies get developed and new building designs get done? How many times when it comes time to replace the translucent roof stadium will you see, nope, we're going to go back to open air because of these technology. We want a stadium like this team's new stadium got.
Yeah.
So right now, I think in the NFL, the translucent roof stadiums is the new craze, just like a retractable roof stadiums.
Yeah.
Were previously.
Yeah. The problem is, so again, and this goes back to the Super Bowl conversation that these cities are gonna get one. The problem though is that by the time the Bears Stadium, which they haven't even truthfully gotten full confirmation on the Arlington Heights site, if that's going to be a thing. If it does become a thing, maybe. That if it's in Arlington Heights, great. But if it's in Arlington Heights, let's play some games here. They build that. It gets done. Maybe they open for the 2030 season, 30-31.
It could be 2 or 3 more. Could be 3 to 5 years before the Super Bowl turns around and gets awarded to them. But
what I'm trying to say is, so that's 2031.
And with more teams potentially building these dome stadiums, with the hopes of, all right, maybe we'll get to host a Super Bowl. That's going to mean there's going to be more stadiums in the pool of bid cities to choose from to get these Super Bowls.
So
where
here's
maybe
one
the next time it comes time to you getting a Super Bowl, more new stadiums have been built or renovated, and there's more competition.
Not that I think that it should happen.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Bank Stadium opened in 2016.
Jim?
That's going to be 15 years old. That's going to be almost 20 years old by the time the Bears get a Super Bowl, right?
It could be, yes.
It'll be around 20 years old. If we say 10 years from now is when the Bears get a Super Bowl. You figure 3 to 5 years for construction, 3 to 5 years after that. So we'll say 10 years out. That is 20 years since U.S. Bank. Does Minnesota say, well, now we gotta build a new stadium? So then Minnesota builds a new one. And that takes 5 years, 10 years to do. Then it's going to take, then you have 10 years, then that 5 to 10 years, they get a Super Bowl. Well, now it's 15 to 20 years since Arlington Heights has opened up. So
we need X amount of dollars to renovate the stadium so we can
right.
make a more competitive, so we can make a more competitive Super Bowl bid, or maybe the city of Chicago starts dangling out a carrot because you have a different mayor that wants to attract the team back into the city limits.
Right.
And then what are you doing with that $1 billion, $5 to $6 billion stadium that sits out in the suburb?
Yeah.
That sits out in the suburbs.
Where we're at right now, there's 32 teams. Heck, if each team opened up a stadium every year, that's a 32-year rotation. And these stadiums, once the newest one gets built, everybody's like, oh, we need these features and all this stuff. This is why the Super Bowl, there's going to be rarely stadiums getting put in this regular rotation. Because you're going to have teams that renovate or rebuild or all this after 20 to 30 years. That's just how it's going to be.
And you're still going to have those sites that have traditionally been Super Bowl cities.
Right.
Like Phoenix, New Orleans,
San Francisco,
Miami, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta, that as long as they keep their stadiums updated and the hosting week goes well, they'll be in the Houston. Houston's another one that's hosted multiple Super Bowls before.
Well, I'm guessing LA will end up being a regular rotation.
Yeah, I agree. I think I could see that LA as well, and Vegas being a regular site for the game. But for all those stadiums, you still have like the one-offs that have hosted once, and it's been, well, there was this weather condition that popped up, and the city didn't handle it well, and they haven't gone back yet, like Dallas, Minnesota, and Detroit.
Yep. So with that, I don't even think we need to talk about the Pro Bowl.
I don't think so.
Do we even care? Like, does anybody care? It's a joke. Shedeur Sanders made the Pro Bowl this year.
After starting, 4 games?
I'm done.
And Joe Flacco, the guy that started the season for the Browns, got traded mid-year to the Bengals.
Yeah.
Made the Pro Bowl. But the interesting thing I found out about Joe Flacco, his long career, that's the first time he's ever made the Pro Bowl.
What?
Yes.
I mean, I guess he was in with Tom Brady and Eli and Peyton, and that makes sense.
There was a lot of competition for Pro Bowl spots. But, I mean, if anything, why do you need to have a Pro Bowl that has 3 quarterbacks or 3 quarterbacks or X amount of things? Why not shrink the roster to where do you need to name replacements for players that make the Super Bowl are now ineligible to go to the
Here's what I think.
Go to the games.
You get 2 people at each
position, or
2. You get a backup at each position. This is why I say a backup, because there's normally 2 or 3 wide receivers. Like, if in a normal game you'll have 2 or 3 starting wide receivers, right? Mm-hmm. Depending on how your team lays out. So if you do that, 1 backup for each one of those spots. Wide receiver 1, 2, 3, tight end, your line, your quarterback, running back, and we'll even put a tailback in there, even though
a fullback, tailback,
even though that position's basically dead. So do that and then have a backup for all of them, and that's it. Also, like,
Which some players play two ways.
well, but no, we don't even need a game because the games now aren't even games. They don't mean anything. They've never meant anything. And I will say, and I've said it since the beginning, the Pro Bowl means so much less, especially to the players, now that it's not. Excuse me. Now that it's not in Hawaii.
Yeah.
When you got an entire the NFL was flying your family over to Hawaii, putting you up for the week in Hawaii. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, now it's kind of been rotated to where they did some games in Orlando, Florida at the Disney World campus and had the game in Orlando. Now it's being done like rotating. Now it's in the host city of the Super Bowl that week, and they play a game.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Like, put it back in Hawaii. Guys will come. I don't care if you do the flag football thing. I don't care about any of that side. Have the dodgeball game. Have the whatever. Do those things. Those are great. Those are fun to watch. But I guarantee you put it back in Hawaii, you'll see a lot of those guys that are first ballot, first picks, probably go. Because, Rich, I guarantee they're flying them out, probably not coach, probably first class, maybe a charter, with their families, and they get hotel and expenses for the week. That's probably a $50,000 to $80,000 bonus vacation paid for by the league for your whole family.
Yeah, I mean, do you need to? Would it be beneficial for teams to start saying that not only give a performance-based bonus for making the Pro Bowl, but playing in the Pro Bowl?
Right now, you can't
not
do
just
that.
being there, but all right, we want you to play.
We want you to participate in the activities.
Participate in the activities, not just show up.
Right.
Not just show up and get a contract clause because you were elected
Right.
or got named to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I don't see how Pro Bowl election gets you anything right now. We still have a couple of openings for the coaching carousel, so we're not going to hop on all the way. We have some surprise picks to me. Rich has some reasonable arguments against.
But that'll be more of a wider discussion for once all the coaches are hired.
Yeah.
This week we saw the Browns hire Todd Monken. The Bills promote Joe Brady to the head coaching job. And
Mike McCarthy got the job in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And who else? I think that
was it this week.
Yeah, that was it this week. So we still have the Raiders and the Cardinals seats up for grabs. Also, I don't know if I believe it, but I did see an article that said that the Seahawks might be up for sale.
Yeah, I think they're at least exploring the possibility. The way I read the article was that as a part of the late Paul Allen's estate, his sister became the kind of like the chair of the team, but it was the effect that the team was to be sold with the proceeds being given to charities.
Oh.
The proceeds of the sale being done to charities. She's already sold off the Portland Trailblazers, but she kept the Seahawks a little bit longer.
I didn't know that was part of the agreement.
It was a part. It was a part of the will that
okay.
that it wouldn't be passed down to family. That he wanted the team sold, with the proceeds being given to charitable foundations.
In that case, that makes sense. Good on him. I like it.
Yeah, you might as well sell the team at its height.
Yeah,
and not.
You'll probably get more money the year. You'll probably get the $7 billion this year as opposed to 2 years from now when they look like garbage. Okay. We'll jump in real quick. Rich, do you see what's coming up next?
Is it a left-hand turn?
It is, and after that,
It's another left-hand turn.
Because we're heading into the NASCAR Corner, presented as always by Triple I Sports Cars Incorporated, Moline, Illinois. Check them out for all your sports memorabilia needs on 5th Avenue in Moline or on their eBay store. Once again, that is Triple I Sports Cars Incorporated. Rich, we saw the 24 Hours of Daytona won by Philip Nasser, Lauren Heinrich, and Julian Andler. Philip Nasser, this is his third time in a row finishing out the 24 Hours of Daytona and winning it. So just a heads up.
Wasn't it back to back or a three-peat win for the Team Penske car?
Three-peat for Team Penske and Philip Nasser himself. Great to see. I got to watch a good hour and a half of the last of the final coverage. Again, with it being on Peacock, I couldn't see all of it, so that was a bummer. Rich, Connor Zilic, Frederick Vessel, Earl Bomber, and Jack Atkins finished second. How'd your guys do?
My guys came in ninth as my car 60 Acura with Tom Bloomquist, Scott Dixon, Colin Braun, and the Dinger. Came in ninth. I didn't get a chance to watch any of it. I forgot about it.
Yeah,
and
okay.
we just had some other things going on Sunday.
Makes sense.
This week, Mike, we have the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium. And while we were recording, Mike, NASCAR announced that it would be postponed due to weather, and the race will be run on Monday night on Fox.
By the way, this is the second postponement. They were supposed to be doing stuff today.
Yeah, I think heat races were supposed to happen.
Heat races were today and then tomorrow, so they are postponing everything until Monday. We'll see if it happens. I'm going to pick Denny Hamlin.
All right, I'll go with my favorite driver, Ross Chastain. But Mike, we have wet weather tires because you still run you still run the road courses with windshield wipers and rain tires. Why can't Goodyear tires throw on winter tires on these cars, and you have the windshield wipers and you race for the conditions?
Rich, what kind of car do you have?
I have an SUV.
Okay.
All-wheel drive SUV.
So have you ever, gotten on the gas a little too hard and spun your tires, even in your four-wheel drive SUV?
Yeah.
Okay. How much horsepower does your SUV have?
Probably not as much as a stock car.
Even at
nowhere near.
Even if they're only at 600 horsepower for this track, could you imagine putting 600 horsepower down on snow? It ain't happening. It's the right decision.
Yeah. I'm just saying, could you throw instead of rain tires, go winter tires? Heck, put the little studs on there. Put the little tire studs on there to where the tire studs or chains are embedded onto the tires.
Yeah, but then you're going to ruin the track. That's the bigger problem.
All right.
Now, the interesting thing is they have to get these guys out of Bowman Gray in the next, by Wednesday. Because practices start, I think, Friday for qualifying on the following Sunday. Right? Next Sunday they have qualifying.
For the Daytona race?
Yeah. February 11th. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you are correct. Yeah, they start qualifying. They have the dual runs. They have the qualifying runs on Thursday the 12th.
So they're not doing qualifying. So, okay, they've changed. I did not realize that they changed how they're doing the 500. The 500, you used to qualify the Sunday before, a week before.
Mm-hmm.
And then the duels were Thursday. And then Sunday was the 500. That used to be how it was all the time. Apparently they're doing qualifying Wednesday, not Sunday. because it was speed weeks. It wasn't speed week and a half.
Mm.
So I was expecting that they were doing their more traditional. So they have a little extra time. They could go probably, but when do practice?
Yeah, I mean, if you need to push it back, do you need to push it back? If you can't run the race Monday night, do you just call it off? Since this is an exhibition race, there's nothing can be won or lost on here except for maybe a driver getting hurt due to a crash, or due to this weird freakish weather. Could this be the last year that it's done in North Carolina and it moves back to Daytona?
Should be in Daytona, but
yeah, you move it back to Daytona, so the cars are all ready. So all your race team and cars are already in Daytona to prepare you for Speed Weeks.
Yeah, I mean that's how it used to be. So originally it was called Speed Weeks because it was 3 weeks essentially. You had the Clash, which would essentially be this week. Next week you would have next Sunday you would have the qualifying. Thursday you would have the duels, and then Sunday you'd have so it'd be 3 weeks of NASCAR in Daytona doing awesome stuff. Not going to be how it is this year. So, okay, Rich, take us out.
All right. So, can we give a quick thing? Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying take us out of the show, not take us out of the corner. All right. So that was the NASCAR Corner presented by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois, and you can also find them on eBay. Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated. So, Mike, going from the NASCAR over to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Olympic action starts Friday in Italy. In Italy, Mike, your adopted country. We talked last week saying that the Jamaican bobsled team is going to be returning to the Olympics. And also you said that Trinidad and Tobago, a more traditional warm weather country, is going to be in the Olympics as well with 6 competitors, you said, or 8?
8, I think, is what I saw. 8.
Well, yeah. So I think I'm looking forward to the Olympics. I'm going to try and watch some, especially with our package through YouTube TV. I think we'll have the Olympics. I think there is an Olympic TV channel there that'll put some of the more obscure sports on, but I know we'll also have access to USA Network, to USA, NBC, and I think there's one other network that NBC is affiliated with that puts Olympic content on. So we'll have plenty of options to watch outside. I don't think we're going to take the step of signing up for Peacock, though.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of stuff. There's plenty of quote-unquote cable channels. Plus, Peacock gives you a lot of the stuff not for free. Or a lot of it you can watch for free. You can't watch everything. But who needs to watch everything? I mean, I like watching as much as I can. We'll see how much curling is on and available where I can. Otherwise, we'll see.
But yeah, all right. Adopted nation, Mike. I think I thought about going with a country where my descendants on my dad's side come from, which was Denmark. But you pointed out they have a very small Olympic contingent. So I'll go with a country that has a little bit larger contingent and go with Austria.
Okay, I don't mind that at all. But so maybe we'll do 2. Let me get to it and see if I can do that as well. Okay, so we're gonna both adopt 2 countries. Your homeland country of Denmark is gonna be yours. Mine is gonna be Ireland, which, by the way, we only have 4 competitors for Ireland.
Okay.
But we're also gonna take the Czech Republic.
The Czech Republic.
Yeah.
All right. So as the Olympics are gearing up and you get medals and results coming through, along with the United States, we'll kind of keep track on how the medal counts are for these five nations, Mike.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, before we get into our shout-outs, let's give some spoiler alerts for the Masked Singer. So spoiler alert. We're going to be going into the Masked Singer conversation as we had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle night this past week. So Mike and I will be talking about the Masked Singer, who we thought did best in our opinion, who we thought did worse, who we thought deserved to probably go home, and then ultimately who went home.
Yep.
So spoiler alert. So before we get into the Masked Singer, do you have any shout-outs to give this week?
I don't think so. Not this week.
Okay, so I got two birthdays. My brother-in-law, Josh Couture, his birthday this past week, as well as a Kevin Knorr. Kevin Knorr, a pastor at our church. Nice. Celebrating his birthday, so we're getting together with him later tonight to kind of hang out. To hang out with him and his wife and a couple other couples in our MC getting together to hang out tonight.
Good. Okay, with that, Rich, let's go ahead and talk about the Masked Singer. The Masked Singer this week was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle themed, which I generally love. I don't think it was that great of a tie-in. I don't understand, I don't even understand the why on the tie-in, let alone...
I think it was an anniversary. I think they talked about...
Oh, yeah, it's the 40th anniversary.
The 40th anniversary, but then they didn't... But they brought out the new turtles.
Yeah.
The new turtles, not the 80s turtles that were tied in. Which is, for me, is hard. I think I remember going and seeing, the comic book style, newest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, and it just didn't feel right to me. I liked the storyline, but it didn't necessarily fit it to me because I have a really fond memory of that first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie.
You and me both.
Yeah, it was really cool. I remember going to the Milan movie theater, which is now a Hy-Vee, and it was a really early morning screening, and we got Happy Joe's Pizza while we got to watch the movie.
Ooh, that's really cool. I went to every one of those movies with my Aunt Debbie, and so it was sometimes it was birthday, sometimes it was just I need somebody to go with, so you're coming with me. It was great. I loved it. Okay, back to the show though.
Yeah.
First thing we got to talk about. We did have a new contestant enter. It was the 14 karat carrot.
I didn't mind the performance. I kind of liked the costume. I thought he did a nice job.
Yeah, so the clues made me think athlete.
Mm-hmm.
The singing made me think not.
Yeah, I'm not as big as kind of maybe picking up on the clues and making guesses as you are.
By the way, speaking of clues, I thought, could it be Michael Vick?
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if Michael Vick can sing like that.
I don't know either.
But talking about
resurrecting his career, paying his debt, getting rescued, and still being able to get back on top, or on top-ish, being able to revive his career and get back. So I thought Michael Vick would be a solid guess. So Mike, even with including the 14 karat, who do you thought had the best performance last night? The other night?
I'm going to go with Stingray.
I agree. I like the Stingray's performance as well.
I think somebody else had really close, but I don't like what they're doing with that particular person.
Is that the Cat Witch?
It is.
Okay.
It
yeah.
Is. And the fact that they've already told us who the Cat Witch is,
Yeah, because even when they had was it the rooster that was the? Yeah, when Donnie Wahlberg playing playing the rooster of like a wild card rooster, never really performing, but he like popped in and would give extra clues, and they never revealed who he was. So I think it's when you're on the 15th season, you got to throw in some little twists.
And I do like getting to see her reaction to what the guesses are and stuff like that. I appreciate that, but everything else, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that she's also been pointing out that, man, this clue is hanging out. They're totally missing a clue that they're not even putting together. Like this clue, that's what it points to. Because that's something that I've kind of missed with them discontinuing like the after mask like interview that they do that they put out on YouTube the next day to try to talk about some clues, how they like how their thoughts of being on the show, and Ord really not highlighting and talking about what some of the clues meant, like in the post unmasking interview, because they cut so close to time now that there isn't as much interaction with the person being unmasked talking to the panel, and them like doing like little pop-up little info boxes throughout the screen to say this is what this clue meant.
Yeah.
So I kind of miss that. So that seems like they cut so close to the whole, I can't believe it was you, or I knew it was you. And then they cut to, all right, performing as now the artist formerly known as this person for the last time. And then they kind of start previewing the next show, the next episode so quickly.
Yep. So Courtney decided to quit, and Mikey.
I thought that's who should have gone home anyway. But tell them who the corgi was.
Claudia Oshiri.
Yeah, I had never heard of her. I guess is
podcaster, comedian, podcast host, and comedian. So
okay, so it isn't like a syndicated TV host. She does it through podcasting and webisodes.
Yep.
Okay.
It is the first time she quit, by the way, and it's the first time that someone who's done the show more than one time has quit. Danny Toretto quit because he couldn't be in that costume any longer. By the way, Danny Toretto wasn't going to win that night. There was no way he was winning anyway. So
no, I thought it was like it wasn't Danny Toretto. It was the wrestler. Oh, if somebody else just unmasked himself, didn't even before they even got out of the hole.
There's been a couple then, because also didn't what's his face, the comedian Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart did it. Yeah, Kevin Hart just nope, I'm done.
And they're like,
Hart
what? And he's like,
did it.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Kevin Hart unmasking himself right after performing, I think. And I thought there was one other guy, not Mickey Rourke, but oh man,
Scarecrow.
I thought there was like one other guy. He played. I know that he played the wrestler. He was in a movie called The Wrestler, but I couldn't remember.
That was Mickey
He
Rourke.
came on. Then it was somebody like unmasked himself before. That was, I think, the first time it had ever happened, like of somebody just unmasking themselves because they couldn't take it anymore and didn't want to do it. They couldn't handle the suit. But no, Danny Toretto did a couple of episodes before he unmasked.
Oh, that's right. Hang on. I will have it in 2 seconds. Oh, maybe I won't. No, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was no, now I got it. It was the Gremlin. It was the Gremlin who did it. But now I can't see who it was.
No. So this says Mass Singer, the Scarecrow quit, and it was Linda Blair. Linda Blair quit. So, either way, odd situation. With that, Rich, they want to watch it. They're watching us here on YouTube, but they want to take us in the car. How should they do that?
Look us up wherever you find your podcasts at. Subscribe so you can get notifications on when new episodes drop. You can find us on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, just to name a few. Mike, if they're subscribing to us and listening to us regular out in podcast land, but they want to be able to interact with the show and watch it live, where can they find it?
Watch us live. You can watch us on youtube.com/balls and sticks. If you want to participate in the poll question or any of that stuff, facebook.com/fansofballsandsticks, facebook.com/ballsandsticks, and Rich and Mi's page. Check it out.
Yeah, and before we go, Mike, we are still looking for maybe some grade school activities that you remember growing up as a kid. If you have some ideas that you would like added to our poll question, feel free to leave a comment on our Facebook page or in the comment section here on YouTube with your favorite grade school activities so we can add them to our poll question to see if they're new activities that we have not already put onto our sheet, which will hopefully be finalized next week.
Yep. With that, Rich, go ahead and take us out.
All right. Well, Mike, go ahead and roll the outro.
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa. This is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.